Brian. All right, Steve, did someone cook the books on ISIS as the Pentagon investigates whether someone tampered with the intelligence on the terror group? You got a former top general says he knows exactly where to look.
The focus of this investigation ought to start right at the top. Where intelligence starts and stops is at the White House. The president sets the priorities, and he's the #1 customer. So if he's not getting the intelligence that he needs, if he's not paying attention to what else is going on, then something else is wrong there.
Colonel Jim Warshak was the Deputy Director of Intelligence at CENTCOM from 2004 to 2007 and has worked hand in hand with Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who you just heard from right there. Colonel, from the best you can ascertain from the contacts you have and knowing the chain of command, where was the ball dropped on ISIS specifically? The buildup, the execution, the emergence?
Good morning, Brian. Yeah, as General Flynn said, you know, intel starts at the White House and ends at the White House, and that's the primary focus that at least those of us who have worked within CENTCOM and in the intel community for over 30 years of our career see the problem. There's lots of opportunities for discussion, corroboration, coordination within the intel community for any errors or any indiscretions to be corrected before it gets to the White House. For someone to say this isn't the way we want to see it, change it, that's a pretty high-level call, particularly based on what we're seeing and what the intelligence analysts are putting together. And we have to remember, the intel community is large, it's robust, it's redundant. There's a lot of duplication, and it's done that way for a reason, to ensure we get the fullest spread of all the information available so that the analysts can work with it. For someone at that high level or within the National Security Council or the DNI to basically say, we don't like what we're getting, there's avenues and opportunities to correct that. But to say this is not what we want, change it, that's a pretty tall order.
But, Colonel, if I'm president, I don't know what I don't know. I read my daily brief and I say, okay, ISIS is not a real threat. Everything seems fine. The fact that all the Sunnis got fired, the Shia government is not living up to its, okay, that's fine. I don't see it here. So if I'm the president, I feel as though I'm ill-served. Where do I have that wrong?
Well, you know, after watching this president and the administration for the last 7+ years, you know, we've come to realize that they're dealing with the way they want things to be versus reality and the way the world really is. And so if it's not the way, if they're not getting what they expect to get or what they want to get, you know, this is a specific case where they're trying to change it. And, you know, all administrations use intelligence for their own purposes, from the standpoint of budgeting, from the standpoint of getting the word out of what's going on. And you know, the real key thing here is this is totally unbelievable from something we've ever seen before, where we've asked an organization like CENTCOM to downgrade the information they've been putting out. And if the president doesn't like what he's seeing because it doesn't fit his narrative, he should make that known to the right people, not have them change the analysis.
Colonel Warshak, thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Using his term in the office to try to put together what went wrong with the rise of ISIS and everything else. Meanwhile,